Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a huge story going around on TikTok involving influencer Anna Paul and Michaela Testa. This situation has blown up as Michaela has exposed Anna, alleging that she has talked bad about her fans, she has faked being broke online. It has been a whole situation that fans are absolutely shook by. Anna has come out to address the situation recently, and her response has not gotten her any love back. She's actually lost almost 1 million followers due to what she has said in response. Fans are not happy, and we're gonna get into what Michaela said about Anna, what Anna had to say in response, and how people have continued to react to this story because it has been the talk of the town over the last couple of weeks. First, a little background. Anna and Michaela were best friends and even had some family ties in a way, considering Michaela used to date Anna's brother Addis. But Anna and Michaela are no longer friends, as it was made really clear when drama between them really exploded online recently when Michaela dropped a bombshell TikTok video accusing Anna of being fake, fat-shaming her fans, and lying about growing up poor. And of course, the internet lost their minds hearing this. Now, I've talked about Anna before, as she's a huge influencer with millions of followers, and you might remember a story that went around about her where people accused her of letting her dad be homeless despite her having all of this wealth. She was called out by another creator online, and in the end, her dad spoke out and said that he wasn't homeless, he was on good terms with Anna, and all was well with him and her, and fans concluded that this was just something that her dad wanted to do, travel in a van. But now Anna has found herself in some more drama, and when Michaela called her out recently, she started off by saying that everything Anna does is calculated and that she hides her real personality from her followers. But the most shocking part of her video, she told a story about a plus-size fan who met Anna in person, and according to Michaela, this fan was so excited, telling Anna that her content made her feel more confident in her body, as Anna promotes body positivity. But Anna allegedly smiled, gave her a hug, and said all the right things. But the second the fan walked away, Michaela claims Anna said she was annoying and gross and didn't even want to hug her because she was fat and sweaty.
You were peak body positivity, love yourself version of Anna. A plus-size fan came up to you and asked for a hug and a picture. You smiled at her. You told her that you loved her. She told you how your words online have helped her be more comfortable in her body. The moment she walked away, you told Addis that she was annoying and gross and you didn't want to agree to the hug because she was fat and sweaty. Addis laughed. These were your words, Anna. I heard them. Things like this were a common occurrence. Seeing your fakeness in the flesh was such a disturbing experience. Your fans mean nothing to you, just like the animals you buy and palm off to others. Watching you be praised online for being kind and caring, but behind the facade lived an evil person.
People who saw Michaela say this were horrified and just disgusted by this alleged behavior from Anna. And Michaela says this was a regular thing with Anna and that she would constantly talk badly about her fans behind their backs while pretending to be super sweet on camera. Michaela also called out Anna for allegedly preying on young fans through shady money giveaways. Anna, who makes a fortune on OnlyFans, has done cash giveaways on Instagram, but Michaela pointed out that in order to enter, fans need to be subscribed to her OnlyFans.
Anna, if you truly wanted to give back to your fans, you would use a free platform such as your giant Instagram page with over 2.4 million followers. Or, if you truly wanted to give back to your OF subscribers, you would do it privately within that platform. By posting IG stories advertising that you're sending money to subscribers, you are directly trying to lure new customers over to your page, a page which costs $16 to access. This $16 is essentially a lottery ticket. With the 7-hour difference in time steps between posting your initial promo story on Instagram to actually sending money, it's clear that in that time you allowed the subs to reel in, as this was just a plot for profit rather than a give-back situation as you disguise it as. Then posting further stories of screenshots sending few people $500 saying you know where to find me, incentivizing more to subscribe and fall for this in hopes to win. The whole premise of you luring your largely underage fan base to a website containing pornographic photos of you in the hopes of them winning your illegal lottery gambling scheme is so twisted and weird. If you charge an entry fee in order for somebody to win something, it's classed by law as a lottery in Australia. Anna is not licensed to hold lotteries. It's unethical, illegal, and against OF and Instagram's T&Cs. And on top of that, it's exploitation, particularly for her young audience. You only need to ID check to be a creator on the platform, not a spender. I've been on the platform for 6 years, I know it well, and we also conducted a test on this, which means these youths really are subscribing and tipping just like they told me that they have.
Michaela went on to defend herself against those who have said to her that she's obsessed with Anna's family and she's just not over her brother Addis, and that's why she has all these horrible things to say about Anna, but she says that's not true and this family really is just horrible.
Another attack that Anna fans will use on me to defend her bad behavior is that I'm obsessed with her family and that I'm not over Addis. They spread all sorts of rumors about what they think happened. This rumor really bothers me and is not true in the slightest. Constantly being tied to such a horrible person and have lies told constantly about how you feel about them is horrible. You have only seen what I've allowed you to see. Anything after my first initial few videos I made, the rest were jokes for views and engagement. I broke up with him. It was my choice to never reconnect again. There was no contact from me to him during that entire time, despite his countless attempts to reach out to me. As I just said, it was exaggerated on my end for views because I know the content performed well, and it did. But I was well and truly over him months before we ended.
She went on to talk about her relationship with Addis, saying that he allegedly physically hurt her after threatening to leave him and also threatened to hurt himself as well. She said that he allegedly also took 50% of her income to manage her, and when they broke up, she alleges that he stole jewelry from her, hacked into her accounts, and withdrew money of hers. She went on to detail even more allegations against him and the rest of the family.
Addis was also accused publicly by his ex-partner, to which I believed back then. I even messaged her that I did believe her. I believed her because her story was something that actually had been happening to me already. And when I confronted Addis and told him I believed her, a fight broke out and he would threaten his life. As a result of what was happening to me, I would get UTIs, and that in turn has permanently affected another internal body part. I'm undergoing surgery in February to correct my body as I have debilitating health issues as a result. When this happened, our relationship plummeted and I couldn't be the same. Does this sound like a person that I would be obsessed with or want back? I left the wrath of that. In my opinion, it seems the Paul siblings have scamming running through their blood, and I'm not sure why, because they were raised with amazing parents that provided a lot for them. Their dad making triple the average Australian income per week had them living in a beautiful house on the water with a built-in pool. I've seen the house in person. It's beautiful. Being upper middle class is not being poor, Anna. Your exaggerated stories for the internet has always made your dad upset, and me, well, just angry. I was a real victim of the system and poverty like you portrayed yourself online. Remember that time when he called you out in the living room? He didn't understand why you would post such things, and he called them lies.
So yes, Michaela was also alleging that Anna was lying about the way that she grew up, when in reality, she's saying that Anna was well off, unlike what she was portraying online.
I know what it's like to grow up with no money on Christmas. You know, my parents spent their last $20 on prawns so that we could have like a nice meal. My brother and I, we used to wrap plastic bottles, like orange juice bottles, and put them under the tree, so it looks like we have a lot of presents like other families. So I know what it's like, so I want to send $500 to 15 of you so that you can make a nice Christmas for your children.
After staying silent for a few days, which in influencer time is an eternity in a situation like this, Anna finally addressed Michaela's accusations in an 8-minute video on TikTok, but her response has only made things worse. She said it took her a few days to respond because she was taken by surprise that Michaela made that video when just 2 months ago, she was wanting to go on a girls' trip with her. So she was really thrown off. But as she began to talk about the accusations made against her, she first denied ever fat shaming her fans. However, she did admit that it was possible that she has called someone sweaty before.
But I'm going to address the things regarding me. So the first thing I want to address is that apparently in 2021, a fan came up to me and we hugged, and after she walked away, I said, oh my god, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat. That is not who I am. That is not what I stand for. That's not what I've ever stood for. But you guys know me, surely. That is not what I stand for. Sweaty, however, I may have called her sweaty, because when somebody is wet and they touch you and then they leave, and when you're with your best friend and you are now wet because of them, you may say, I am now wet. Again, this was 4 years ago, but that may have happened. And I also know that people would have hugged me, walked away, and said, Anna Paul is sweaty. That does not make them a bad person. That is just them pointing out that after 2 people touch, they are now sweaty or wet.
Then she addressed Michaela's claims that she lied about growing up broke. And Anna claims that it's just how she felt.
The second one is that I lie about growing up broke. Now, I do not lie about the fact that I grew up broke. I When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt. When I can hear my parents talking in the kitchen that the budget for the groceries that week is $30, it makes me feel broke. When we can't afford school uniforms, it makes me feel broke. When I'm 11, when I'm 10, and all my friends can afford something and my parents can't, it makes me feel broke. When they say, oh, I don't know how we're going to afford rent next week, that makes me scared and makes me feel broke. That does not mean that I was the most broke person on earth. There are definitely people in way worse situations than me, but that does not mean that I'm lying about the fact that I felt broke during those times. And of course, because the internet is going crazy, they are pulling up photos of, this was Anna's childhood home, showing photos that I grew up in when I was already an adult that I couldn't even imagine even going into when I was like 7 years old. Or this was Anna's first car, not my first car, not my childhood car. I didn't even have social media when I was like 7. Like, Instagram didn't even exist back then. It was like 2006, 2007.
People were not having it as she tried to explain why she had pictures in first class as a kid, saying it's because her brother got sick on the flight and they got moved to first class, and then says that the reason why she had a Gucci watch in one picture as a kid was because her dad sold antiques and it wasn't what it looked like and it wasn't real and it just wasn't what it seemed. She went on to say that bullying on the internet like this that she has experienced kills people and it's not okay to make negative videos, and told her audience not to post anything negative towards anyone else, even in her defense. But in the end, she didn't end up addressing anything regarding her brother Addis. And people obviously were calling her out for this, among other things. In the comments, they wrote, "No acknowledgement of Addis. Me when I avoid my problems. I may have called her sweaty. I bursted out laughing. Addis was not mentioned once. I'm feeling gaslighted. Being broke and feeling broke is definitely not the same." No questions were answered. Anna's response video completely backfired. Instead of clearing her name, people felt she was gaslighting her audience by deflecting. And since this, she has lost almost 1 million followers, which is truly wild, and it's feeling like a Dramageddon level situation between these Australian influencers. And at this point that I'm making this video, neither Anna nor Michaela have commented further on the situation. Anna seems to be ignoring the backlash, and Michaela hasn't responded to Anna's video either, but the damage has already been done. Anna's reputation has taken a serious hit, and a lot of fans are reevaluating whether they ever really knew her, which obviously that's why she's lost nearly 1 million followers. But I want to know what you guys think about the whole situation. Have you been following along and what's been going on and seeing Anna's following continue to go down? What are your thoughts on her not addressing what Michaela had to say about her brother? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.